Hello and welcome to another session on current affairs. In this video, we will take up the present contemporary burning debate around freebies. This topic comes under General Studies Paper 2 of Civil Service Examination under the section of governance, and the major objectives are we will try to understand what do you mean by freebies, types of it, need for them, problems with respect to them and way forward. So here freebies, according to 15th Finance Commissioner N.K. Singh in his article in Indian Express, he defined freebies as something given to you without paying for them to attract support for something. To attract support for something. Take a typical example here. We will consider free power to the farmers, and farmers are expected to give support to that political party. That is what the definition says, that expecting something from by giving something to you. So it came to the limelight after the Prime Minister's speech over Revadi culture, rise of Revadi culture in Indian states. So what are the types of freebies here? So N.K. Singh sir mentioned about two different categories of freebies we can find out in Indian society. One, offering free services to the public in the name of education, or providing health services, or providing some kind of assistance in housing schemes, etc. The other type is with respect to associated with the trickle down economic policies of Ronald Reagan or Reagan economics, where you can say they offer some kind of investments, investment benefits, tax benefits for certain group of people. In India, we can take example of PLI scheme, production linked incentives, and also special economic zones, which are now changing its nomenclature under Desh bill. And also it talks about parks. I'm talking about not national parks, I'm talking about textiles parks under Pradhan Mantri Mitra Yojana. And also we have solar parks or IT parks, which provide some kind of incentives to the people. And these are some categories of freebies which we can classify generally. However, why we need freebies? That is also one issue which is in the debate. Here Amitabh Kant sir, ex-CEO of Niti Aayog, mentioned that they are promoting welfare populism, like providing housing, providing education and health are very much essential for promoting welfare of the public. So that welfare services are rendered under freebies. Further, in Supreme Court in its Subramanian Balaji versus State of Tamil Nadu case observed that freebies are quite important in fulfilling obligations under dpsps as its welfare state. Further, in its recent affidavit, Election Commission of India mentioned freebies as lifesavers in dire economic times, particularly during pandemics or in natural disasters or any other unforeseen incidents. Imagine the help done by Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana to the migrant laborers who suffered due to lack of employment during COVID time. And they are associated with affirmative actions, that is to help the disadvantaged group. Freebies also fulfill that ambition of affirmative actions. And further, to promote egalitarian society, freebies will give a helping hand for the people. Particularly, you see a free power can help a farmer to get free electricity and he can improve his profits. Because it was well noted that even though 53% of our India's agriculture depend on rain fed, but the yield is 5 times less than the irrigated lands. Just imagine a farmer who is getting benefits from this irrigated lands because of electricity. But the people who are opposing says freebies are damaging the economy. For example, freebies promoting fiscal prolifigacy, meaning freebies are promoting reckless spending of the state budget. Further, Duvuri Subbarao Garu, ex-RBI governor, mentioned that they are promoting electoral populism, which means going for which is leading towards economic disaster for the state itself. He gave an example of loan waivers loan waivers up to the farms, how it created disturbance to the banking system to India. Further, freebies even promoting inequalities, because only few sections of the people who are pro-government, or you can say who are pro-party, they are only getting the benefits. The remainings are excluded. In his observation, Ashok Gulati mentioned that these freebies are not sustainable. They are unsustainable because free electricity is somewhat damaging the water tables and also he was critical towards the subsidies provided to the fertilizers and also seeds, which are creating lot of problem to the soil fertility and the market forces. And this kind of subsidies also making the complications over the WTO regime also. Further, the UNICEF mentioned that the quality of food grains, provided under PDS system or in the midday meal scheme is also not at the adequate level. The nutritions are very less, they are less diversified, and the goods are and the grains also not well nourished. Further, Encasing mentioned that this freebies essentially moving towards fiscal deficit, that is very evident from the RBI's debt reports of the states, and some states even crossing 35% of the state level also. So here you can see the problems here. What is the way forward? Best way to deal with freebies? The first and foremost thing is we need to prioritize based on the socio-economic caste census, which is updated socio-economic caste census. Further, we need to get fiscal rectitude, meaning we should have a righteousness, or you can say discipline in the spending of the state. Supreme Court in Subramanian Balaji versus State of Tamil Nadu in 2013 mentioned that there should be a policy by the governments on this issue. And further, we can also see, we can also expect real-time data in the public domain, and the reports of these freebies should be discussed and debated in the parliaments, or you can say legislative assemblies. Further, state has to give the revenue reports from where they are spending, from which source they are spending this money, so that they will get the transparency also. Finally, it was people who are getting the money, or you can say money in the name of freebies, they should get some kind of nudge treatment for their behavior change, for the proper spending. Further, randomized controlled trials should be conducted as idea given by our Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee, and he said that there should be appraisal through this randomized controlled trials, how they are doing it, how they are working the freebies, whether they are useful to or not. This appraisal should be timely done by the governments. There should be a social audit by involving NGOs. There should be a social audit by involving NGOs and other community team members and local governments, and then there should be CAG report on these freebies also, so that we can get it. Finally, we would like to tell one important thing. A Chinese saying says that give a man fish, you can give a man a fish, you can feed him one day. But if you teach him how to fish, he will feed a lifetime. So we need to enhance the capacities of the people rather than freebies. We need to enhance the capacities of the people as mentioned by our Amartya Sen. That is most important than all the things. Thank you so much for this video. We'll see you in the next video.